Hey, let's go ahead and get some messages from our spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. I went ahead and pulled the cards because I don't want to have this whole thing jiggling while I'm doing it. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. The overall energy that we have out is new life, okay? It is just what it says. Today we have Mercury going direct. Mercury has been in Aries now since last month. Okay, still in April, so it's been there since March. And Mercury went retrograde on April 1st. And so it's been asking us about, yes, you're planting seeds, but it asked you to go back over the seeds that you're planting for the new life that you are creating for yourself, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, right? So, with that said, it's talking about this new life that you are getting ready to step into, okay? And everything we're doing is for that new life. Everybody's going to have something different when it comes to that new life for them. The card that we have out is serendipity. And this card talks about opportunity allied with readiness, okay? It says the awareness of synchronicity, luck, and good fortune appearing from nowhere as signs and symbols, and a magical alignment of events. Okay, it talks about you're stepping into alignment with the greater good where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you could never have planned all by yourself. So that's why during the Mercury retrograde, we had that Mercury transit into Aries with the sun in Aries. And then Mercury went retrograde. So you were planting new seeds. And then what happened is Mercury went retrograde, and Mercury's like, okay, are you sure this are the seeds you want to plant? Are you positive? Because we have the Seven of Pentacles here. And so it's talking about, like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Are you going to be able to make it? And are you going to have the finances that you need? Because I think for a lot of you, you're kind of freaking out a little bit. You've been freaking out. You've been doing a bunch of research. You're, putting a lot into your work. I feel like communicating. I feel like for a lot of you, you've been really stressed out during this Mercury retrograde, which I'm not fucking surprised. I mean, it's in Aries, right? And so Aries is fiery. Aries is like this energy where we want to get up and go, and then we can't get up and go. you know? And the reason why you couldn't get up and go is because you still had some unfinished business. You still have some things that you have to attend to before you can create that new life. Now that Mercury is direct, now it's time. Now it's time for you to actually get to move forward. And I think you're going to end up getting the messages that you need. You're going to end up talking to people, but there was this back and forth energy that you were going, through during the Mercury retrograde, which I'm not surprised. When Mercury transits over an area and then it transits back over an area, then it has to go direct and transit back over that same area. So that's a 3 times over that we've been experiencing, okay? And that can be very confusing, but there needed to be changes. There had to be some type of changes. And so anything that you were on the fence about, it's like, you better know what you're doing now, because Mercury is now direct as of today, and things are going to really start getting moving. So I think for you, a lot of it was, what was the intention that was driving you? With the hidden intentions here, what intention is driving you right now? Okay, because we have 2 cards of intentions. Okay, they both say intentions in the top. And this one talks about hidden motivations. It's like, are you doing things for the right reasons? Because if you're doing things for the right reasons, look at this, you guys, in 2 different decks. Okay, 2 different decks, as you see. What do we have here? A new life and new beginnings. All right. Your overall energy here in this deck is the new life. So it's like, yes, all this work that you've been doing has not all been for nothing. And for a lot of you, you felt like you were spinning your wheels. Like, is this ever going to get off the ground? Is it ever going to bear fruit? And the outgoing card is yes, yes. Everything you were doing was for the new beginning. So you were preparing for the new life, and here you are with that new beginning now. I love this. And for a lot of you, this is a blank canvas for you. A creative endeavor. When I see that, I look at this canvas and it's like, how do you want to paint this canvas for yourself? How do you want to paint the new beginnings and this new life for yourself? That's why, people think, oh God, Mercury retrograde, or oh God, something retrograde. Listen, these retrogrades are for a reason, is to make, and it always ends up working out better than you could have possibly imagined, right? So you got to quit looking at things in such a pessimistic view and start looking at it like, okay, this is destined to happen. All right. So now I got to go back over, look at everything, all the seeds that I've been planting and go, okay, what seeds are worth planting and nurturing and watering and watching grow, and what seeds are not anymore. I feel like I just heard, some of you had a lot of losses. Maybe people passed away, and I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying that. My arm hairs are standing straight up. So I feel like, your crossed over loved ones have been helping you along this journey. Some of them had to pass away in order for you to have the finances to be able to, um, in order for you to be able to, you know, uh, fund this new journey for yourself. For some of you, you're still waiting on the finances. You're still waiting on that money to come through. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're building, something that's going to last long term. When I see the new life and new beginnings in the 10 of Pentacles, this is something that's going to last. It's all about the bricks and mortar. You planted the seeds. You see the tree of life here, right? With these pentacles, and you see all the different generations. You see the grandfather, you see the child, you see the parents of the child, so it's like all these different generations. So this could be generational wealth for some of you. And my condolences to any of you that had somebody pass away. That's why it's important, like when people ask for money, they don't just go, I want money. Make sure that you're telling the universe that I don't want anybody to be harmed in the process of you receiving that money, because that might mean grandma has to die, or mom or dad, so be very careful about you wishing and praying for finances, because you might just get it, but you also might get it from uh, a source you didn't expect it, and it might end up costing someone their life. All right. So do keep that in mind. So I do feel, though, that what you're building is long term. It's like whatever seeds that you've already planted in the past, I do feel like there is an air of luck. And I feel like for some of you, you've been kind of on the fence. Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? Well, you got to ask yourself, what are the motivations as to why you're doing what you're doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? Is it for your children? Because I do see a lot of kids here. Maybe for some of you, your new beginning is children. You're going to be having a family. You're going to be adding new babies to the mix. For others of you, if it's not a child, it's a new creative venture, and you're going to treat it like the child that it is, because our business, our business is our children. We have to take care of it, because if we don't take care of it, it's not going to grow. It's not going to be successful. Just like with your children, if you're not putting the emphasis into your children, they're not going to, what are they going to do? They need your guidance. The same thing as the business does. And then the rooster goes off right when I said that. So I do feel like with the unfinished symphony and the, hidden motivations in the center of the reading, I do feel like um, there are some things that you needed to go back over, is what I want to say. There are some things that maybe have been hiding behind this curtain that I'm getting painful memories, but at the end of the day, I feel like and I say that because in the center of the reading on this set of deck of cards is the Nine of Swords. So whatever this is, there's some painful memories. And it's like you want to go back over certain things, but you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait, let those things come to you because, and I think that for a lot of you, maybe you've been waiting for a really long time. And I feel like the wait is almost over. I do feel like you are going to get some type of communication. All right. It's communication that you have been waiting on for you to move forward. All right. This is going to be communication, and everybody's is going to be different. We are not all the same. We all have this going on in different areas of our charts. Therefore, it's going to be different for everyone. And that's why it's very important that you schedule a reading. It's one thing for you guys to be getting these messages on YouTube and going to different readers and stuff, but it's really important that you get a personal reading so that you know how all of this is going to apply in your life, because not everybody is on the same timeline and not everybody has the same thing going on. That's why I try to make these as broad and general as possible so that it's not a very specific story. And I feel like this one could have so many different areas that are, and for some of you, all the areas that I touch on are going to be make an important role, or that are going to be important in your life, right? So there is some type of an event that is getting ready to happen. And I feel like that event is what is going to shift you into all this newness. It's funny because you have the intention, which is a 1, you have the cycle, which is a 1, and you have unfinished business, which is a 10 that adds up into a 1. And then you also have the number 10 here, which also adds again to a 1. So a lot of endings during these retrogrades, with also a lot of brand new beginnings that are coming through. But the universe is like, why are you doing what you're doing? We want to know, what is driving you? What is driving you? Listen, you can't run away. You can't run away. Wherever you go, there you are. So it's really important that whatever it is that you are manifesting for this new life for yourself, that you're not trying to jump into anything. And I think for a lot of you, we run out of patience with these retrogrades. It's like we want to move forward. I know with me, I do. I do. But Spirit's like, trust us and don't give up. Time will tell. Timing is everything, because if you don't do it in the right amount of time or at the right time, it's all going to fall apart anyway. So you have to be very mindful. It's almost like a kite. You can't just go out and fly a kite. You can't just walk outdoors and throw up a kite in the air and it's just going to fly. That's not how life works. You have to have the right amount of wind, or your kite's going to just nosedive. It's the same when you hear somebody say, I'm going to quit smoking, or I'm going to quit this, or if they don't hit the right kite in the astrology, that's not going to happen. It's just not. You'll talk about it, and you'll tell everybody, yeah, I'm going to quit smoking, or yeah, I'm going to do this or whatever. But then, everybody's like, yeah, we've heard that before. And it's not like the person hasn't tried, or it's not that you haven't tried. It's just not the right time. And you have to catch that right wind in order for it to actually be able to float. And that's funny because then I looked at what I see as a hot air balloon, right? So very important, that you time it just right, because if it's not timed just right, it's not going to work out. So I pulled a couple of angel answer cards and we got do the work. And I think that that's what you've been doing. For everybody who during this Mercury retrograde really put their nose to the grindstone and was actually doing the work, doing that inner work on themselves, these are the people that are going to get that 10 of Pentacles, that payoff, that 7 of Pentacles that you've been waiting on. You're going to finally get all the answers that you need, and it's going to start a new cycle in your life of new beginnings. Your new life is starting regardless. Now, however much work you decided to put into it is entirely up to you. The next angel answer card we got is Archangel Chamuel. Open your heart to give and receive love. Your essence is love. So open your heart. And it's funny because it's almost like he's been doing the work. See how he's got his hand over his heart? He's like, opening up that heart chakra. And mind you, again, these are 2 different decks, guys. All right. So they are working definitely in tandem. This is how I see them. Sorry. So it's like after he does the work, and then it's like open your heart to love, to loving your life again. And I feel like the last few years, especially with everything going on in the world, not everybody's been loving life. We've been going through freaking hell. A lot of internal work and a lot of like, oh my God. Now what I'm seeing here is you're going to start manifesting on an outward level from all the inward work that you did, if that makes sense. I don't even know if, that if it makes sense to me. So all the work that you did was not for nothing. Okay. It was not for nothing. So every one of you felt like, oh God, is this ever going to play itself out? I'm so freaking stressed. Like, financially, everybody's fucking stressed. I mean, we've had that Jupiter Uranus conjunction, all that fracturing of our financial systems, taxes throughout, like we have all kinds of shit. Let me give you guys a little bit of a heads up. 2026 is going to be the best year ever, right? We're going to finally have all the payoff and the accolades. In the meantime, the world is going to continue to fall apart. It's going to be continuing rebuilding itself. Okay. So until 2026, which has the best fucking lineups in the astrology, and we'll get to that as we get closer to 2026. I've been telling everybody for years, and anybody who's been a client of mine knows, like, you just have to stay alive until 2026. Like, you got to dodge all the landmines. Stop listening to what they're fucking telling you every time they throw out another goddamn disease or something else. You got to stop listening, and you got to start listening to your spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. And don't be listening to this false God and this false prophecies that they're going to bring up. You have to understand they're going to make a fake God, and it's going to be an AI God. And you're going to have a lot of people who are going to fall into that shit. And you're just going to have to stand strong, and you're going to have to believe in what it is that you believe in. And you cannot be swayed by all of these outside influences that are doing everything they can to make sure that you don't succeed. The darkness gains power when you lose faith, when you are tapping into the darkness, and some of you are unwillingly doing it. You don't even recognize that you're doing it because it's packed up in this big, beautiful red bow. You're going to have to get smarter than that. Right now, you have new creative endeavors. You have all kinds of really new events that are happening in your life. I want to read this. Oh God, I opened it up. So this is a soul expression. And it says, a fiddle adorned with vines stands upright in the sand, along with books, a camera, paintbrushes, and an artist's easel. A beautiful, vibrant river flows by, indicating that new inspiration is coming. This heralds a period of great creativity for you. If you've been thinking about a new creative project, it's time to get things going. And if you're already working on such a project, this card is telling you to shift it into high gear. So whatever it is that you've been doing with this Mercury retrograde, don't fall off. Keep fucking going, because you're about ready to see the payoff for what you've done. The activities involved in this pursuit may be something personal, like taking up painting or learning how to play the piano. You may even decide to go to school to learn something new. Professional opportunities are also indicated. However, you may open an art studio or even a bakery. There's also great potential in writing, publishing, theater, and music performance or composition. If these or other creative activities call to your heart, now is the time to take action. Set aside your doubts, share your talents with the world, and express your soul's desire. This card is singing your praises, and so should you. And I do feel like other people are going to be singing your praises. You're finally going to get the accolades. You're finally going to get, the attention on all the work that you put, all the work. You've been doing the work. And I really do feel like you've been doing the work, and it's going to pay off. We have TikTok in the same position as we have the new beginnings. So it's all in divine time, you guys, all in divine time. We got that new moon in Taurus coming up on May 7th, I believe it is. And so that is all about, planting new seeds of intentions for what you want for your future. I feel like for some of you, you're starting a family. For others of you, you're starting a business. You know, everybody's going to be starting something different. You know, you're going to be starting a new creative pursuit, you know? And I feel like you need to reach for the stars, but please, 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 let's get things finished up. Start wrapping shit up so that you guys can. So if you were slacking on some of the stuff that you were supposed to be doing during that Mercury retrograde, you're only going to get back what you put in, you know? And you've heard that saying before, what you get what you put in, right? We all do, you know, you reap what you sow. Well, that's Taurus energy. You reap what you sow. So if you are wanting to, you know, if you're wanting a new life, it's like, all right, you've already planted all these seeds. Okay. This is, you know, now you have this one seed over here. And it's like, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to invest that seed? This one, you know, seems to be, it's gotten to the Six of Pentacles, which is, you know, all right, like it's getting there, but it's not quite the Ten of Pentacles. So, you know, how is it that maybe you can start like a like a side business or something where you're bringing in more cash, where you have more revenue, you know? So it's like, you know, yeah, I have this business, but I also like I have my AdSense, you know, so I don't get much. I don't get paid a whole lot freaking here on YouTube. I'll be honest with you. I think I've made like the most I've ever made is 19 bucks, you know, but that's because they keep me as small as possible. You know, and then they pay us like pennies literally for a click. So we're not making a lot unless you've got like billions of fucking followers. Um, you know, but then I also have Facebook where I get paid literally like 7 cents. But eventually, as I get bigger, it will create more revenue and stuff on top of the business that I'm doing, on top of the Reiki that I do. So it's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, is what I'm seeing with this Seven of Pentacles, right? It's like, you know, start planting other seeds so that you have you know, you have lucrative ideas. You just have to be willing to invest in them if that's something that you want to do. Like, listen, I think that no idea is a stupid idea. I think it's a stupid idea if you just don't follow your ideas, you know? So at the end of the day, I feel like this is a very beautiful reading. Some of you guys have been just going back and forth, but I do feel like Spirit is really trying to tell you, like, hey, you can do this. We have faith in you. You just have to have faith in yourself. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to leave that here, subject to interpretation. I love you guys all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. You guys, please like, share, and subscribe to this video. Even if you don't share it, just hit the share button, and that will help me get into the algorithm. You guys, I love you all so much. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram under the Footsteps to Peace and Peace Unhinged Tarot. Talk to you soon. Bye.